Welcome to What's Hot. I am Lovedale.
And I'm Mano Myarz, and today we're discussing, should a line be drawn underneath people's past?
And today we're joined by Celestia Barby.
Oi, oi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Pleasure being
absolutely
here.
welcome.
Thank you.
So let's chop this up, guys. All right, so we've got a term called cancel culture, and if you're not sure what that is or what it means, then here's a simple breakdown of it. So just bear with me. So cancel culture describes a form of boycott in which someone, usually a celebrity, who has shared a questionable or unpopular opinion or has had behavior in their past that is perceived to be either offensive or problematic, called out on social media, is cancelled. They are completely boycotted by many of their followers or supporters, often leading to massive declines in celebrity careers and fan bases. So the question is, where do we draw the line?
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
Oh gosh, cancel culture. I think it's unfair. I'd say cancel culture is unfair.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
I think obviously with celebrities, there's a spotlight on you. But if you think about all of us as individuals, there's stuff that we've said in our past that we wouldn't say now. We don't agree with certain things that we believed in our past. There's certain things that we've done that we grow, we evolve.
It's growth,
and it'd be so unfair if people were to judge me based on who I used to be. There might be things I say today, and tomorrow I might change my mind. Do you know what I mean? And it's unfair for people to still judge me based on that and be like, oh, you're done because of that. So I don't think it's fair. I think if people have shown that they've grown, they shouldn't be held necessarily accountable for their past mistakes in some circumstances.
Is there anything you guys feel that you live in the past in any way? Is there something that maybe you feel like you could have done better, or do you ever feel like more of an emotion from it rather than living in it?
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think it all depends, isn't it? It's all about perception, I feel, and it's how you kind of perceive things. But I do feel like it is sort of challenging living up to a number of people's expectation when you're one individual. Yeah. So I do believe cancel culture is... Oh God, where do I sit with this one? I think cancel culture is... Okay, Lovedale said it was unfair, but I feel cancel culture, it's relevant. I think it's also needed as well. Yeah. And my reason for saying that is I do believe sometimes people are put on a particular pedestal, or we expect certain things from people, but if you expect nothing, you're never disappointed. And I think it's because of expectation why we all fall into this booby trap of cancel culture. Yeah.
Have you ever been lost in the wrong crowd or anything? I've been quite lost before. So have you felt that? Have you ever felt that?
I think when you asked your question, I was thinking back to when I was in school.
Yeah.
When I was a lot younger, in secondary school, I think there's certain people that I could have definitely treated a lot better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That I might have been a bit mean to. I'm so sorry. So sorry, guys. I probably was a bit mean at times when I was younger, and now I'm not that same person. So it's if I was still judged being that immature teenager, that would be really unfair.
Yeah.
I think for me, really, it stemmed from being bullied at school. I literally got my hair cut short. Hair's long now. Yeah, I had my hair cut short. And I basically got kicked out of the group that I was hanging around with, the cool kids. Sat in the toilet for a week at school on my own. And I thought, I can't be doing this every day. This is not good for my mental health, especially.
Indeed.
And I ended up hanging around with the chavs. So then, from that, I got involved with drinking, drugs, stealing, and smoking from age 14. And I went on a downhill spiral for 7 years.
Wow.
And got absolutely, completely lost in so many ways that I can't believe I'm sitting here today having this conversation with you. And I think my touch on having a past, it's all about overriding. So if you do 10 things or 20 things that are really bad, you've now got to go and do 21 things that are really good. And by the time you've got to the 21th thing, you've overrode the dark past, but it will always be part of you.
Absolutely.
So what's your feelings on the line, having the line, the drawn?
No, see, this is the thing, because if we're thinking about celebrities in particular, there's certain celebrities that have done amazing things, and some random person will go and pull up a tweet from 10 years ago. Now you can imagine 10 years ago, if this celebrity is 35, they would have been 25. That's two completely different people. There has to be a line drawn. If they're this amazing person, why are you focusing on that one negative thing to say you're done, we're not supporting you? It's different if they're doing it in the now. And I believe in cancel culture. If you come out now and you say something out of pocket, I might have to cancel you. But drawing back into people's, based on what you've shared, if people now you're doing great. Someone's like, oh, she used to be this, we should not support her because this is what she used to do. I don't think that's fair. There has to be a line drawn.
Yeah.
I actually don't think there should be a line drawn. I think the line is like that the book is your book and your journey is your journey, and every day is your day forward, and you learn from your mistakes. And the people that love you in the end are the people that will love you for your past if you've become a good person from it. And you're open to be honest and general nice human being and say like, this is what I did, this is where I'm at. I think stories change the world, and I think if there was a line drawn between a story, then your story wouldn't be able to empower and motivate others.
See, I agree with that to an extent. I agree with that. I agree, like, everything is part of your story. But let's think about Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So he had the opportunity to host the Oscars. Then someone found a tweet from like years ago when he said something that was a bit homophobic. Yeah. From the past. He'd already actually apologised for it in the past.
Indeed.
He ended up losing that gig. Like, he had to step down for that. So when I believe that everything forms your story, but when it's like, it's impacting your opportunities, it's impacting your ability to thrive, I think that's really unfair. I mean, Kevin Hart's doing well, but
he's
I mean, at that moment, it was really but do you know what I mean? So I definitely 100% agree, like, we shouldn't hide from our past or be like, oh, that doesn't exist, I'm this new person. It does form who we are.
It definitely does.
But
so wait,
like,
I guess it's, sorry to cut you, I guess I guess it's similar to, like, say, someone that's been convicted and you've been punished, you've spent your time and you've come back out, and whatever the conviction is, it's kind of like you're still being punished, or history keeps repeating itself because you can't secure certain opportunities with a conviction, and especially if the time hasn't been spent. And even when the time has been spent, it's still like you're being penalized for what you did at that point in your life. So my question to you, Celestia, would be, what could have been done differently to have sort of like changed your path, if that was an option for you at the time? What could have been done differently to have kind of refrained you from going down the path that you did?
Yeah, I think the main thing is what you're putting in your mouth. If you're drinking, drugs, smoking and putting garbage in your mouth, your brain's going to be garbage, so your actions are going to become garbage.
Indeed.
And then obviously the people you're hanging around with, you become the people you associate with daily.
Indeed.
And when you're young, especially when you're young, your brain is high intelligence, but you don't realise how intelligent it is when you're younger, so your brain's just picking up everything. And it's like a sponge, isn't it? And I think that because of the way the planet's going, being materialistic, people are not aware that they're on this incredible planet floating in the universe. And
Indeed.
It's for me, it's more of the nature of life. I wish I was more awakened to the realistic of being a skeleton and being on this incredible planet. I think if I knew that earlier on, like within my depths of my soul, that my heart was physically beating and this was my time alive, then maybe I would have been a bit more careful. There is a famous saying, and it's, you must be a fool to harm your own soul.
It's true.
Wow.
You must be a fool to harm your own soul, so
But I think, that kind of awareness comes with age, maybe, or maturity. I think it's hard for, especially if you're young, to grasp some of those concepts.
I think some people do grow up quicker than others, as well. I can speak to a 14-year-old and they've got like triple stories to tell, and you're like, wow, you've been through all that, and they're like,
of course.
I think parenting is a big thing at the moment.
Indeed, and they say it takes a community to grow a child, isn't it? So it's not one specific way of parenting. Indeed.
I love that.
You write that down. You're on a notepad. You're taking notes.
That was banging.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
All right, so to round up, what's your final thoughts, Mano, on this?
It's relevant to a certain extent, but I do feel like a line needs to be drawn in certain instances, as I've demonstrated previously with someone that's been previously convicted and have turned their life around. So I do believe that there's a thin line between, it's relevancy of being there and the irrelevancy of it shouldn't be there.
I think content is king. So if you've got good content to show and someone puts up a black flag to you, you can just say, look, here's all my green flags of the beauty of what I've been doing. I've got a criminal record and I've been on various TV shows and had to sit there and bring up my past and bring up things that I didn't really want to talk about. And if you generally are a good person, you can get over anything like that's got something that's happened, and if you've got over that bad past and you've come through the hedge and you can see the green field, you're on the uphill to success, and you're on the uphill to becoming that beautiful soul that you're supposed to be. And yeah, it's nice to make people feel good, isn't it? Really.
I think that just in general we just need to have a bit more grace in dealing with each other.
Indeed.
Just a bit more love would be great.
I agree.
You know, understand that everyone's on a journey, right? Cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome, guys. So we're going to take a quick break, but coming up next, we're going to be talking about some really interesting trending topics. Hope you enjoyed this episode of What's Hot. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with all your friends. See you next time.